Okay, so let me ask you, since you have logged in a little bit, are there any questions up front that you have about the system?
Oh, Charlie, that. Yeah, I have some questions. Gotta walk out for a second. How do we reassign like a call, take this number to this number? Can we reassign that to a different property?
Yes, you can. So that's text IVR that you're talking about.
Yes.
So there's an actual text IVR tab up here. And you'll notice that you got 3 agents in here. Now, the extensions stay with an agent. So if Cindy has 4 extensions, she can rotate those extensions inside her account and rotate from there. I don't know if you can do it. I'm going to go to the listings and see if we can manage it there. I don't think you can because of just the way it's configured. But if the agent logs in, there's also, if you go to edit on any listing, let's see if it's there. The extension is here. And notice I can unassign this, but I can't really change them because I'm logged in as the office. If you're logged in as the agent, you can unassign and reassign your extensions because the codes stay with the agent. Does that make sense? Hello?
Okay, I've been trying to do that for 2 days and it hasn't worked.
Okay. Have you asked support why that isn't working, or you just sort of got frustrated and walked away?
I got frustrated and made a note to talk to you about it today.
Okay, all right. So I would say if we logged in as you, we would change it, but let's not do that right now because I want to just show you kind of the main system so that you get everything out of this, and then that's kind of something that is kind of a weird little thing that we can log into. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. Are there any other questions like that?
I figured okay. No, we're good.
Okay. I'm just going to write down a note about that because that one's kind of, it's an offshoot, but it's not, I'd have to log out of where I am now. Right now, I'm logged into your account for the office. Each of you have your own login, and when you log in, you'll see kind of the same thing, right? There's getting started, which helps you get started on the basics of our account. There's Facebook advertising. And let me ask, have you all run ads on Facebook before? Do you do that as part of your business?
Yeah.
Okay. So right here, we cover, if you click this little sub menu here, we talk about one of the most powerful tools that is out on the market for seller lead gen. It tells you how to create it and how to run an ad. Okay. So we're going to also talk about that today, but I want you to know where this page is. It's right here when you log in under Facebook advertising. There's also a series of tools that we create for open houses, and I'll show you where to add the open house. But once you do that, there are a sort of a series of tasks, right? How to open it, how to put it on social media, how to get the single property website, all the things that are designed to market that open house are automatically created once you set the date and time. And this little video here, you can jump to every section that you need to sort of answer about the open house. So again, those things are front and center right when you log in. We do have live training classes. I'm always happy to get on a call and do a training class for your office as needed. But we do 3 live classes every day, or every week rather. And I recommend that you join us at least once a month for our Facebook one, because things change there a lot. And right now, it is the #1 place for lead generation and seller lead generation, whether you're using just our free tools or if you are running ads. So you kind of want to know what's changing there. Facebook, I would say, changes about every 3 days. And the language and the wording that works on ads is always sort of changing. So we talk about it every week. I recommend you get on those calls consistently. They're only an hour long, pretty quick, but they can be super, super helpful. That said, I know Rhonda and I had spoken about it when we first got your office set up. One of the big things that our clients are after are more listings. And I am going to show you the tool that people are using. But I'm just pointing out here, this came in early April. And basically somebody's saying they got 100 leads out of using our tool with a $100 ad on Facebook. So I am going to show you how to get that tool and how to run that ad. But that's kind of the point. What I'm trying to point out here is our tools are designed to capture leads. And the more often that you use them, the more leads you're likely to generate. And they're designed to capture buyers and sellers. These two little posts I'm showing you are from our mastermind group, and they're talking about sellers. And since I'm mentioning the mastermind group, are you all in our mastermind group?
In what end?
Are you in our? We have a private group on Facebook called the Listings to Leads Mastermind Group. It is for our clients only. And are you in that yet?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. This is what it looks like. I'm going to, like I said, I'm recording this and I'm going to put this recording up online and I am going to send it to you with the steps and the instructions on how to get to be part of this. It's difficult to find, and it's a secret group basically on Facebook, so you can't access it unless we actually invite you to it, or somebody is. So I want to make sure you get in there because there are a lot of tools. Our tools are all there. I'm going to show you how to access them, but applying them to the internet can be really, really powerful if you know what you're doing. And a lot of our clients are sharing what they're doing, and that might help you out. So about listings to leads, there are two main sections in our platform. One is the listings page, and that is how you market your listings. Okay. When you go in here, there's a little bit of a kind of a little walkthrough there to help you know what's happening. And then I'm going to kind of dive into this and show you how this page works. But before I do that, there's also a landing page section. And if you're not familiar with landing pages, I tell you, we have about 10 to 20 people sign up every day on our website. And the number one tool they are looking for is this property valuation plus landing page. Okay. So I'm actually going to show this to you right now, how you log into your account and you create this page. Has anybody created this page yet in their own account? Okay. So forgive me, you're going to have to see it again, but maybe you'll understand a little bit more when we go through it. So each of you should know that you can go into here, type in property valuation plus. There are other landing pages. There are landing pages for empty nesters, for growing families. We have a landing page for FSBOs to offer them free marketing. We have a landing page for expireds. You can even create a custom landing page for buyers and for sellers. If you've got some sort of report that you want to give away, you can capture their contact information before you give it away by using that kind of landing page. But definitely the number one landing page that people are coming to get a hold of is this Property Valuation Plus. So you choose the page you want, you click add. And can you tell me what's the number one city where you're building your business right now in your area?
Alexander.
Sorry, which one is that?
Alexander.
Alexander. Okay. All you got to do is type in Alexander.
You have to do the
Did I misspell it?
No, you spelled it right. It's just Alexander City.
That's the name of the whole big one.
Okay. Okay. So where is that? What state is that? Alexander City. Okay. So what you want to do when you create that, it drops you right here on this kind of page to edit it. And I actually don't think there's anything you need to do except change the background picture. And you can do that by clicking right here. We drop you. Sorry?
Mine didn't look like that. Like my edit page.
Okay.
When I made the landing page for what is your home
worth,
did not look like that. And it was complicated.
Okay. I'm not sure which one you did, but let's kind of finish this process and we'll go look around and see what maybe you found. Okay? So when you create that page, it drops you right here automatically. And there are a lot of things you can change. And I want to kind of, warn you to just ignore them. All you really need to change is this button back here that says upload image. And you want to put a picture of something from your town. Now, I don't know the cities where you're building your business, but my guess is you probably are operating with towns that are somewhere between 20 and 50 and maybe 100,000 people in each one, right? Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're in those small towns, you want to build a page for every town you're trying to grow your business in. And it's always wise to put some sort of landmark, something that everybody's going to know if they see it, right? So at this point, I've changed my background picture. I can click view and I actually see the property valuation landing page. Now my picture is too big, so you kind of lose the bottom of it, but you get the right size picture in there. And this page is designed to capture listing leads. So let me show you how it works. All you have to do is type in a address, okay? It has to be a residential address. And when you type that in and you click get estimate, at this point, the page will whip around and show you the house on a map. This is a Google map. And what that is designed to do is just to give some confidence to the people, because it says on the right, your report is ready, your home value is ready, and for this address. So in order to view my report, I have to give you my contact information and why I need this. Well, I'm just thinking about selling for right now, right? And when I click report, it drops me on an instant valuation, all right? And you, the agent, receive my contact information and my address and the value that I'm looking at. Now, this data set of the value that we're looking at, this one comes from Zillow. You have two choices. You have three choices, really. One is use Zillow estimates. Two is use Onboard Infometrics, which is a different kind of company, but they have a lot of, sometimes they have really great data. It's way better than Zillow. In another area, Zillow is way better. And then the other thing is you can use no valuation and just say, hey, I'd like to, thank you for that information. We'll get you a value and get right back to you. So that's kind of it. And that's really the nature of how this is one of the number one tools for capturing listing leads. Okay. So let's go back to the landing page section and try to address that question. Is you created a landing page, but it didn't look anything like that, right?
Right.
So I'm going to click on landing pages. So we sort of come back to the core page, right? And
Okay.
now maybe you edited the free home values page. So let's click that.
Okay.
I don't know if that's what you did, but maybe it looked like this, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And this is like, this is a default page that's available that just sort of auto-generates. It's not really the one, it just auto-generates and you can edit it from there. I don't really recommend, I don't recommend people using it. It's just, we do it because it's easy. What's not easy is editing it. And that's why I always tell people, go to landing page section, choose property valuation plus, and click add a landing page. All right. And when you do that, and let's just kind of go see if I can pop into, let's go into listings. I'm going to go look at agents real quick, or actually, yeah, let's look at Cindy, who's right here. All right. And Cindy has a bunch of listings. She's in Alexander City. She's in Dadeville. And Alexander City is a big area for her. So she should definitely have that. But if you're building a business in Alexander City and you're building one in Dadeville, you want one for each area. Now, I'm actually building landing pages inside the Office account. So I don't expect anybody will use that. But you could all log in and create this yourself. So I'm going to go to Property Evaluation Plus. I'm going to click Add a landing page, and I'm going to type in Dadeville, right? And same thing, I click Save, and it's going to drop me on the page where I need to be. Now, while it's doing that, I am going to click over here. What's that? Sorry, I was moving too fast. Let's go back here, edit. I think I clicked on something and got jumped around. So this is the page. It's waiting for me to change my background picture. So I want to show you how I do a background picture. I actually go to Google. I just do a search, and I'm going to type in Dadeville, Alabama. And this is a simple way of doing it. You can certainly go buy a photo. You could take a photo with your smartphone, just hold it horizontally, and if it's big enough, that'll work. Now, I don't know a whole lot about Dadeville, but if it's a small town, there's really sometimes it's a main street that people are going to know, right? And so that's kind of what you want to look for. You want to click on Tools. You want to go on Size 4 megapixels. This means they're going to be big photographs, and that nothing looks kind of resonating to me. So let's find something that's kind of looks like it's going to work, right? We'll just take this picture here, and you're going to know more about your town than I am. So I'm not going to waste a bunch of time here with us on this, but I'm going to put it right here, save. And that's kind of how I get my photo. And what I'll point out here, since we are over here, you often think like, what's that background picture got to be to make it work and to make that really work? And I just want to point out that this picture right here is the #1 picture for seller lead capture for one of our offices in Summit, New Jersey. And that's because this restaurant is on Main Street and has been for decades. And if you're running an ad talking about home values in their town, well, they know you know their town if you know this diner. So I just want to point out, a lot of folks feel like you need to put a big luxury home in the background or whatever. And it doesn't need to be. It needs to be something that speaks to the people who live in Dadeville. And that's kind of it. So once you have that changed in the background, you can save it, and then you can click View, and you'll be looking at the landing page just as anybody else can look at it. So let me ask another question. I know one of you created a landing page like this, or you edited it. Have any of you run an ad on Facebook to capture seller leads?
No, right now we're doing buyer leads.
Okay. We're going to get into that in a minute, but I want to finish this part because this is actually listings help you grow your business, right? You all know that. So, and I'm going to show you how to run an ad for buyer leads, but if I show you how to do the seller leads, you'll see the process twice, and I think that'll help you out. So we go to Facebook. You do need a business page to run ads on Facebook. And up here on the right, this is how we typically run them. We click that little blue button and we click Create Ads on this menu. And there are a lot of people out there talking about lead gen, a lot of people talking about Facebook ads. There are a lot of people talking about how to capture seller leads on Facebook, right? And I see the videos, and you probably see them as well. But what I want to point, yeah.
We just did a whole session with Jerry James on this.
Awesome. So you know Jared, I forgot about that. That's right. So then I'm
He told about you.
What's that? That's right. He mentioned, he always asks people to use us because we've got a really affordable platform. So then I'm going to move quickly. But I want to point out in this process the areas where I see people make mistakes, okay? And I'm going to just click on, you want to do traffic in all times, okay? and you click continue. Now, here's the biggest mistake for people trying to get seller leads. You want to, let's go right here. We want to type in Dadeville, right? Dadeville, Alabama, right there. And a lot of people will just go with the default. You don't want it 25 miles out. You want it current city only. And you want to change this to people who live in this location. That means this ad is only going to be seen by people who live in Dadeville, Alabama. And that makes sense because this page only says, what is your Dadeville home worth? Okay?
Right.
So that's pretty straightforward, but it is something that people miss. I always say put an age bracket, minimum, whatever your minimum is. You could also use other demographics. I think in the beginning, I don't even recommend you do that. The other major mistake is people ignore the placements area. And I want to point out that if you're trying to get listing leads, you need to pay attention to this area and change it to desktop only. All right? Desktop only means, you know, all of our stuff is mobile optimized, but people are not comfortable filling out a multi-page form on their phone, even though it's mobile optimized. So that's why I always say get started, do your placements on desktop only. Then always change daily budget to lifetime budget, and always run this ad minimum, I say minimum $30, and I also say always start it on Friday and always end it on the following Monday. All right, so it's a 3-day ad. It's about $10 a day. All right, and what I want to point out, I was showing you this picture earlier, and it always is kind of lame when you're showing people testimonials and stuff because these are the outliers. But I do want to point out a number that we definitely know. This guy spent $100 on a Facebook ad. He got 100 leads in 4 days. He's using the tool I just showed you, and he's running the ad the way I just showed you. The key that I want to point out is that seller leads on Facebook tend to cost about $1 a click. And that's really the point. So when I'm running the ad here and I say put on $30, that means you're only maximum going to get 30 clicks. When you start getting good lead generation from this, meaning you're doing this the right way, I recommend you put more money on this kind of ad so that you can get more listings. From here, we click, go ahead.
So when you choose the target city basically, and then it asks you how you want to run an ad, you recommend desktop only, so don't run it on mobile.
If you're trying to get listing leads, if you're doing home value ads, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're going to run another ad together to get buyers. And in that case, I'd say do it on mobile and desktop. But this page is a little more complicated for people on a phone because you got to kind of go through multiple steps. And, you know, I'm sure we're all super tech savvy here, but not everybody in the world is. So if they're sitting at a computer and they click on it, they're more likely to follow through and you'll get that lead. That's why I'm saying that. So you pick your business page here. My real estate one fell off, so I'm going to use my healthy foods one. You click single image ad, and down here you paste the link to the landing page, and you put it here, and you click that little red thing, and it pushes everything over here. Now, me, it's sponsored by No Like You Trans Fats, right? That's my healthy page. But you, it's going to be you. It's sponsored by you and your real estate name and whatever it is on your business page. There are a couple of things that you want to change here. By all means, it says what is your Dadeville on the bottom. You see that? That's kind of useless. I would change it. Notice I'm over here in the left box. And I am trying to edit, but of course it's not letting me do that. I'm going to say free Dadeville home values. And then I'm going to click up here because this recent home sales affected your home value is interesting. It's not that compelling. And what is compelling is something like this. 30 homes sold in Dadeville last month. The high was, I don't know, 400K. Click here to get your automated home value in less than 15 seconds. Comma free. These two lines work every time across the United States right now on Facebook. Okay? You need the real numbers. I don't know how many homes sold in Dadeville last year. But click here to get your automated home value in less than 15 seconds. It means I don't have to talk to you. It means if I'm 8AD, I'm going to have my free answer in 15 seconds. And free means it's no money, right? So these two lines work over and over and over again. If you want to get fancy, and I recommend getting fancy, you can add little, what do you call them? Emojis and make it colorful. And that actually slows them down enough to actually click more often. So at this point, you go down here, you click confirm. And what's going to happen is they're going to say, we're going to review this and then we'll make it live. All right. And for you, what you have to, and then at the end of the weekend, they're going to say, congratulations, you had a successful ad. And what congratulations, you had a successful ad means is you succeeded in giving Facebook money. It does not mean you succeeded in getting leads. So I'm going to kind of point out what the major flaws are when people don't get leads. One is this picture is not relevant to Dadeville or wherever you're running ads. Two, this language here is not compelling enough. Now, this language here is actually compelling enough, but there are many agents that just ignore this step or they put something else and it just doesn't work. So it's these two things that people see, and if it's compelling enough, they're going to click on it. If they click on it, they're going to land right here, and this is designed to capture their contact information and get them a home value. Okay? That's kind of it for seller lead gen. The other mistake that is, there's really only three major mistakes that I see. This picture isn't working, and this language, so that you're not getting a lot of clicks, and you'll know because Facebook is going to tell you at the end, here's your reach, that means how many people saw it, and here's your clicks. And if not many people clicked, you know it just wasn't compelling enough to click. The other area, and I'm repeating myself, but I have to repeat myself. If you get a bunch of clicks, like 100 clicks, but you got no leads, it's usually because you ignored what I just said, which is put it on desktop only. People are so happy to click on these things on their phone, and then they have to fill out multiple pages. Oh, this is too much, right? You're asking me for my home value and all, or my contact information. They just walk away. So that's it. That's the number one way of how, our clients are getting listing leads. It is why this lady or Cody over here says, hey, I got 305 seller leads in April. That's in 12 days. And he's got 7 listing appointments. It's because they created the landing page I just showed you, and they ran the ad the way I just showed you. All right? So that's fun. People love it. They log in all the time to get a hold of that. I hope each and every one of you create a landing page for every town you are trying to build your business in, and you run ads on the weekend just the way I showed you. All right? Now, the other thing about that, about Facebook, and I'm going to just sort of finish this, is, I mentioned literally 10 to 20 people sign up every day just to get this page. And they get this page because they hear such great things about it, and they fix it, and they put a picture, and they lob it up on Facebook, and they get some results, or they get very little results, or who knows. But our clients who get the best results also run ads for buyers. And they do that by using our tools that are automatically generated, and they put them up on Facebook, and they run a kind of a similar ad. All right? So I want to point out and we're going to get into it in a few minutes here, that we can market properties at different stages. We can market them coming soon, just listed, I recommend pending, and I recommend just sold. Now, you don't have to run an ad for every listing at every stage, but it's always good to run 1 or 2 ads a week for a property, even if you're borrowing that property. Now, you all seem to have a fair amount of listings, so I definitely recommend you running a couple of ads every week, because every time you run an ad, a few thousand people will see it. And if you keep doing that every week, and then every weekend you say, hey, now click here to get your free home value, they're going to start realizing like, hey, you know, that person over there had an open house. They just sold something. I saw it last week, and they have something just listed this week, and now it says, can I get my home value? They start associating to this brand up here, and that's what you want to have happening. Okay? So there are 2 key tools to do that with, and you can get them right here on the toolkit. I'm going to click on Cindy's property over here on, and we'll see it here. There are 2 key tools. One is the listing landing page, and the other is the single property website. All right? Now, this is a little bit tricky, and I want to, not tricky, but it's something that you have to remember. I recommend that when a property is coming soon, just listed, active or open house, that you use this listing landing page. Okay, have you guys seen this yet? Hello?
No.
Okay, you have, so none of you have seen this yet. This gets automatically created. It should be showing up in your mailbox. If not, check the settings on your profile, and these tools should go automatically too. Or you can just log in and grab it. What I would recommend you do is you get this out on the internet, and you can, I'm going to show you how to get it on the internet. Before I do it, I'm going to show you why I recommend this. This is what we call a listing landing page. And a landing page, in definition, is something that says, I got information that you want, but you got to give me contact information before I give it to you. So how do we get the contact information here? Right here, click continue with Facebook. So before I click it, I want you to look right at the center of the screen right here. You're going to see a little window pop up right as soon as I click this, and watch that. And they get a little flash, and that's us reaching into Facebook and grabbing the name and email that that consumer uses on Facebook. And then it says, thank you. And then it goes into the single property website. I think we got to, yeah.
Mom, you know, our logo changed.
It did?
Since you're 21, you know, worldwide, our logo changed.
Okay. You want to send that to me when we're off the call?
Will do.
Okay, and I'll get that updated. There's a setting here that I kind of noticed. We want to make sure this is all going agent-centric. So let's, excuse me.
Okay.
Over
Is
here.
there a for me to get in as a broker?
What's that?
Is there a separate login for me to do as a broker?
Yes.
I found that.
Yeah, let me get that to you. All right, there it is. Now, I'm going to turn off a couple of things here, which is make phone field required and force registration. You all have this on your profile, but I want you to understand what that is. This is a single property website. We have a virtual tour. We have a few tools that when this page pops up, it doesn't have an X. You can't close it. You have to give up the information. And that's where I don't think that's a great idea. I think you want to let people close it and kind of look. And if they want to give you the information a little bit later, great. So I just made that change right there. I also never recommend that you require a phone number in internet marketing. You'll kind of just kill your lead gen, okay? So with that, I kind of made that change there. I just want you to know you can all log in and make that change, but that's what's there. So what I was trying to say there is if a home is active, just listed, or open house, you definitely want to use a listing landing page. Does anybody have an open house happening this weekend?
No.
Okay. And does anybody on here on this in these listings, is anything pending or sold recently?
No.
Okay.
I was in the.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to jump out. Let me look here. Hold on. Yeah. I'm going to jump out because I want you to understand this very clearly. In order to get the most amount of seller leads, and just to make it clear, the number one place we see seller lead generation happening, and not just lead generation, but business growing, is by getting seller leads off of Facebook. Okay. And the number one tool is what I just showed you. But what really gets people to generating hundreds of leads every month is when they go to their listings and they run a couple of ads every week, like I've been repeating. But because none of your stuff is sold, I want to go into my little demo account and show you why changing your status to sold and using the single property website instead of a listing landing page can really be, I think, in my opinion, a little more effective. So let's look at a single property website. It's going to have your logo. It's going to have it that's just sold. It's going to have your lead gen links pointing to your website. But when this form pops up, it says this home is sold, and that's going to affect your home value. Get your home value here. And as you can see, this is how you capture a listing lead. Okay?
Right.
So if you're going to market a home, I recommend, can you market coming soon in your area?
No, well, we have 10 days. We can put it on the.
Okay.
On the.
Is inventory tight in your area?
No.
Okay. So for some people, marketing early can be really useful, and you can add a listing right here to do that, right? And you can do it, but otherwise it's going to come in via the feed, and it'll be just listed. As I showed you, if you've got just listed or open house, you definitely want to use a listing land. Yes.
Okay, so what about having an analytic or Zillow or anything like that that's going to go out of drag? I can actually add listing in on your ad listing?
Right there. Yep. Now, one step that you'll need to be thinking of is when you add a listing, it's going to be kind of confusing. I'm going to just, so I'm logged in as an agent right now. I'm not logged in your account. So if I click add listing, it's going to take me right to where I just start entering some information, right? Basic info, description, get your photos, get your lead gen links. That's it, right? If you're logged in as the office, it's going to say choose the agent because you got to associate the listing to an agent.
Okay.
So that might confuse you.
I think I was discussing the text IR.
Yeah.
I did a couple of days different signs. I already have signs and other signs that are here. Is there any way to reassign the number?
Yeah. Yeah. So I would do this logged in as the agent, not logged in as the office. And if you log in as the agent, you see all the listings, you see the codes that are assigned, and you can associate any free ones. And like, I'm going to assign that code right there. Do you want to assign that extension to that listing? Yes. That's pretty much how you do it.
Okay.
And you can also click, I want to unassign, right? So maybe there's a listing that you sold 3 months ago and you want to unassign that listing and use that sign writer somewhere else. That's how you would use it. Does that make sense?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
It's best to log in as the agent. It's just very simple when you do it that way. So I'm going to show you one more thing about the listing landing page, again, to market buyers. And let's go over here and click on tools. We just look at it together. And your social media. This is an open house. And this is the listing landing page. And when you set the date and time, it kind of puts this ticking clock right in your face, right? It's saying it's time sensitive. So that's why I'm saying use the listing landing page when it's open house, when it's just listed, when it's active. But when it's pending and sold, use that single property website. That's going to help you get listings a little bit faster. All right? All right. So the last thing about marketing listings, maybe it's not the last thing, but when we go to listings, you want to make sure you've got your right status, and you want to make sure that once you got the right status, you go over here. The next thing is you go to the task list. And just at every status, you know, I've kind of said this, and I'm sorry if I sound like I'm repeating myself, but I do. Everything that we do is designed to capture leads. And there are a lot of companies with tools that sound just like ours, but they are not wired or designed to capture leads. And because ours are, we want our clients, and our clients want to, they want to market their listing at every status, at just listed, at open house, because it's a different call to action and designed to capture leads at all times, and designed to create referrals and all kinds of things for you, right? So in order to kind of go through that, just click the green button on the right, follow the steps. To get, like I've been telling you, this home is sold. I can tell here it's just sold. I want to get the single property website out. The easiest way is to click this share button right here. And when I click that, I can say, hey, you know, I just sold this home, right? Pretty simple. And I could click post to Facebook down here. I could also say I don't want it on my timeline. I want it on my business page. All right. Number 2, I recommend LinkedIn. We're actually seeing a lot of clients get buyers and sellers from LinkedIn. Very similar. Press the LinkedIn button, type in a social message there, and click share. Number 3 is actually Pinterest. Not a lot of realtors know that, but it is true. Now, Twitter and Google Plus, we actually don't see a lot of lead gen, but they are so well known. Everybody knows what Twitter is today. And Google Plus, you know, you can just say everybody with a smartphone has, you know, Google Plus. And it just takes you seconds to just click a button, write in a cool note, and it basically makes you like a social media marketing guru by just clicking a couple buttons and typing a couple things there, right? When you're done, check this box right here and it'll save the date. And then you go through the steps that you want to put out, social media stuff, get your virtual tour. Your virtual tour, Rhonda, do you have a platform there called Crest? Yeah. I recommend you take our branded virtual tour and you put it on Crest. And there are a couple of reasons. You probably know this. Crest is going to push this out to all the major portals. They're also going to push it out to your competitors under the Realty umbrella. So if you have ERA in your area, if you have Better Homes and Gardens or Coldwell Banker, this virtual tour branded to you will show up on their website. And one thing that I haven't mentioned is these links right here can point to your website. So this home is in Groveport, Ohio. So homes under 300K in Groveport sell like hotcakes. So I want a link that says that. And when you click it, I want it to drop on your website. Right? Does that make sense? So for me, my recommendation to you is when the virtual tour is created, copy it by clicking the copy button here, putting it on Crest, and then clicking this button so that you know that you did it, and close it and move on to the next one. Right. All right. Is anybody collecting email addresses? Do you have a database like MailChimp or Constant Contact, stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you may not want to do this at every status with every listing. You might want to do maybe some of the, higher end stuff. But there is a letter that is pre-written. It'll have your logo. It'll have a link to capture leads, drive right back to the single property website. It'll have the text code that you assign. It'll also have a landing page right here to help you get more listing leads, and it's going to have your contact info, your favorite lead generation links pointing to your website in your banner here. And you can either, one, send it to yourself. Let's say you got a group of people that you email to in Gmail or Outlook or Yahoo or AOL. You could send it to yourself and forward it on, or you could copy the code and put it in Realty Juggler, Top Producer, MailChimp, all these things like that. Okay? It is. Yeah.
I'm signed up here today, we're going to see a now.
Cool.
Will you be asking that to do this so that my lady can dump everything in?
I think so. So that is, I don't have the answer, and that's a good, but I'll tell you what I think the answer is. For every agent, you would want to log into their profile up here, and you would want to go to the contact, give me a second. That's the account, social, automation, password. Yeah, right here, contact details. And let's say that you should probably have an email address for that CRM. That if they say send any lead there and we'll drop it into your CRM. It might be Rhonda at Jared CRM, right? Or something like that. And then I don't know what it is, but then you say send all leads to. You need to do this at the agent level because each of you has your own CRM. Does that make sense? That's how you do that. If that does not work, then have Jared shoot us a message. We know Jared. We presented at his meetings before, and we'll talk about we need bigger.
We're on
Oh, okay.
And then we're asking, I am specifically, will, when you provide, link to what you provided, and you say yes. So I don't know how that will work.
Okay. I'll ask a question. I'm going to ask Scott to talk to Jared and find out. And we'll see. Because that's the way, so we work, our clients have all kinds of CRMs, Realty Juggler, Lead Router, Follow Up Boss, and they all do what I just showed you here. Sometimes we have deeper integration, like with Wise Agent, Lion Desk, Boomtown, and Top Producer. We don't have that.
Which is what it is called.
Yeah. Well, since it doesn't exist, we're not like pre-building for it, right? I haven't heard that Jared has a CRM, so good news, right? So if we need to do more substantial integration, then we will. But normally, the way I just showed you is the way it gets done. Okay, and so the other thing is, when we talked about is lead generation links, I want to get into your account before we go into that. And let me ask you, do you share like one office account, or do you have your own websites?
We have a name, office website.
Okay.
Whatever provider features from the one that they might have, but we're, as of Monday, we're right off the company job of the 21 provider site. We have our own site now.
Okay. What's the web address for that?
Lake Area Realty.net.
Lake Area Realty.net. Give me a second. Looks really cool. Do you have a okay? You got an IDX in here, and And I don't know what these mean, but let's just see what Willow Point means. There should be cities? Yeah.
When people want to be in the first part of the way, then go that way gets split and it will pull up the property.
Got it. Okay. So, and I understand what it is, looking at it, and it looks pretty awesome. Let me see what's happening here. Oh, okay. So now I click search properties, search all properties, and I dropped on Flex MLS.
Right.
Okay. That's MLS. And who is Amy Banks?
She usually owns company, but she does not own. She doesn't know.
Okay. Just so you know, when I clicked on search all properties and I get migrated over to this is your office, but it happens for some reason it has Amy Banks' name in the URL. I just wanted to make sure it's your company. So if there was a lead captured over here, and I kind of don't know if there would be a lead captured over here, would it go to you? Okay, well, let me explain the process of what we just did here. I click search all, I'm on your site, I click search all properties, and I landed here, which is provided by Flex MLS.
Right.
And if I go here and I start saying, okay, I want to look at another property, and I want to look at, a lot of people just go through and look at all the properties that are for sale in their area. And they could go up here and say, I want to see it by zip code or whatever. But let's just say I had a question about this home, and I contact agent. Where is this going? Is this going to you?
Yes.
Even though this might not be your property, right?
Right.
Okay. Okay. Then you might want to. All right. Why don't I do it right now? Well, let's just see what happens.
Okay. So this website is for you. Yeah, but the lead will go for you. I don't know.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah. And that's kind of that's my question. You know, there are websites that you round robin because, and I know Flex MLS. One thing that I always feel about MLS provided IDXs is they're not the strongest when it comes to lead generation.
Right.
And so there are other companies, you know, I know you're kind of transitioning through that. You know, I can tell you this, if you got into what we're doing and you just use our tools, we could probably get you each a couple hundred leads every month, and some of those leads would turn into business. If you then felt, what's that? Really? Okay, well, is that a different lead? I think that's something I filled out. Yeah. That's not from the MLS. So the point is, I'm going to just explain this. On tools, you can edit all tools. And I'm just going to do it the very simple way. There is something called lead links. This gets associated to a lot of our tools, and it is one of the reasons that we generate a lot of leads. I've got a link for Dadeville, search all homes, free home values. This is active, homes close to where you work. I don't recommend that. But I do recommend Alexander City. Cool. So you got that. So that's good. What I want to point out, and you know, we are focused on lead gens. We're always happy when our clients are happy, and our clients are usually happy when they're capturing hundreds of leads every month. That's when they're happy and they're like, you guys are awesome, right? That's where I want you guys to be. And the reason why I'm, you know, wasting everyone's time on this question is if we push people to your site, are you going to capture leads there? And normally when you go to an IDX, this is what I call an IDX. It's showing all the properties for sale in your MLS. We really like it. We really like it when you show the consumer 5 or 10 properties, and then you say, okay, now you have to register to continue. This IDX from Flex MLS, I doubt will do it. If it does, make that change and let me know. But that's, what's that? Yeah, I don't think it has that. So what we're doing is right now we're creating links that are just pointing to, actually your links have changed, so because I think you just got a new website. Let me just look at that. Yeah. We need to copy that, and we need to actually create new links. So I would create links and I'm sorry, this might sound a little bit confusing, but it's actually kind of an important question. I'm going to delete the links that are pointing to your old website right now. Okay. Because you've changed websites, right? So that's not going to help you. And I could also just edit, and I should have just edited, but I'm a knucklehead, so that's how it is. I'm going to click save. Good. And I'm going to click this. And I'm going to just edit these links. Let's see what happens here. Great. And I'm also going to, if you make this change here, Dadeville, and you have to do this at the office level or at the agent level. What this does by choosing the city, it tells the system the next time you get a listing in Dadeville, automatically give it Dadeville Homes for Sale. And that's kind of a nice, way to automatically get your listings kind of synced up. So this is a little bit confusing. I don't think you're going to grasp all this piece immediately, but it is something that I would like you guys to be able to take advantage of. And here's why. Let me show you. Just step back one step and go to 34 Bent Hickory Way. And let's look at the single property website. These links on the left-hand side, a lot of people click these. Okay, they'll look at the home and they'll say, oh, that's great, but maybe it's not great. Maybe there's too many steps in that home, et cetera, et cetera. And so we see the automatic lead capture pop up. But if you have lead generation links on the side, people will click on them. Since this home is in Dadeville and it's under 300 or 200, I might want a link that says Dadeville Homes under 200. But I'm going to click on Dadeville Homes now. And because you changed your website, it's a dead link. Okay? So you probably want to take this step that I am going to show you right now and get to your listings, click on lead links, close this little handy deal, go down to the bottom and click sync with account links. This will sync up. That's only synced up for the office level. So we have to make that change at the, give me a second, sorry. I'm clicking around here on stuff that you should not have to be doing, but I'm just doing it because we had this change. We may have to do it a little bit later. But let me go to the bottom and preferences and push links. What that does is we set up links at the office level, but we need to push them to the agent level so that those links are available for all of you. One other thing, Rhonda, does your office have a YouTube account?
Yeah.
All right. You and I should probably get on the phone and we should go through the setup and connect that so that we can auto upload to that.
Okay, I'm working on this for my personal account.
Okay, you can do it for the office account as well. I'll give you the login codes and you can do it there. If you've got an office account for YouTube and the other agents have their own, they can all add their own channels and the virtual tours will go up to multiple channels. Okay. This is taking a little bit too long for me. But the point is, I'm going to fix those lead links at the end. I'm not going to keep us waiting for this. Let's see here. So there are a couple of other important tools here. Do any of you collect reviews on Zillow?
Yeah. And we're comfortable and I'm comfortable with it, we're going to have some more now. If it was not working, if it was closing, well, then I'm going to dollar and I got 500 and it's $1 down. It's not going to be, okay, so I'm glad I don't know if I want to down eating in there, guys. I mean, I don't want that long. No, I'm saying you. She the seller said, look, she used it more, she reappreciated it, she used it. Yeah, and no, I think it's more than that. No, they, so it's a church, we didn't get a check. We see here, money wire, first the check.
Pardon me, ladies. Sorry. I can cut this off. It sounds like you guys have some business that you need to take care of. Do you have? Yeah. Okay. So, do you want me to, Rhonda, why don't I get this up online and send it to you with the instructions on how to get in the mastermind group? And let's talk either this week or next week and just go over the settings in your office account. Okay. I'll send you an email. You can just send me a time that works for you.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for your time. Okay, bye-bye.